Hello everyone and welcome to Geopolitical Trends, where truth matters. Did you see this coming? In a move that has captured global attention, Colombia has officially joined China's expansive Belt and Road Initiative known as BRI, signaling a significant shift in its foreign policy and economic strategy. This decision not only redefines Colombia's bilateral relations, but also has broader implications for South America's geopolitical and economic landscape. Colombia's strategic alignment with the BRI. On May 14, 2025, Colombian President Gustavo Petro met with the Chinese President Xi Jinping in Beijing to formalize Colombia's participation in the BRI. This partnership aims to enhance bilateral cooperation in infrastructure, trade, and technology. President Petro emphasized the potential of his alliance to transform historically marginalized regions like San Andreas and Buenaventura into hubs of technological innovation and economic growth. China, now Colombia's second largest trading partner, has expressed readiness to increase imports of high-quality Colombian products and, of course, support Chinese business investments in Colombia. Then you ask yourself, what are the economic opportunities and challenges? Well, Colombia's integration into the BRI presents opportunities for addressing its trade deficit with China, which stands at approximately $14 billion. The Colombian government anticipates that enhanced trade relations and Chinese investments will help bridge this gap, potentially improving the country's fiscal balance and debt repayment capacity. However, this move has raised concerns among Colombia's private sector, which fears that increased Chinese competition could adversely affect domestic industries. Critics argue that the influx of Chinese goods and services might undermine local businesses and lead to job losses. What about the geopolitical implications in Latin America, one might ask? Colombia's decision to join the BRI, the Belt and Road Initiative, reflects a broader trend in Latin America, where countries are increasingly engaging with China to diversify their economic partnerships. This shift has elicited apprehension from the United States, traditionally the dominant external actor in the region. In response, the United States has expressed opposition to Chinese projects in Colombia, particularly those involving state-owned enterprises, citing regional security concerns. Notably, the U.S. has opposed funding from institutions like the Inter-American Development Bank for Chinese-led infrastructure projects in Colombia, such as Bogota Metro Line 2. Despite U.S. objections, Colombia's alignment with the BRI underscores a desire among Latin American nations to pursue more autonomous development paths, free from traditional Western conditionalities. The BRI offers an alternative model of cooperation, emphasizing infrastructure developments and economic integration without the stringent requirements often associated with Western aid. Then something comes to mind: copper, which is a strategic commodity in the BRI context. The BRI's focus on infrastructure developments is poised to increase global demand for copper, a critical component in construction, electrical grids, and renewable energy technologies, among others. Latin America, particularly Chile and Peru, plays a pivotal role in the global copper supply chain, accounting for a significant share of production. Colombia, while not a major copper producer, has untapped potential in this sector, with several projects under exploration. China's engagement with Latin American countries through the BRI could facilitate investments in Colombia's mining sector, potentially transforming the country, Colombia that is, into a more prominent player in the copper market. This development would align with China's strategic interests in securing stable supplies of essential raw materials for the industrial and technological advancements. Here is my conclusion for you. Colombia's accession to China's Belt and Road initiatives mark a significant realignment in its international relations, with potential benefits in infrastructure developments, trade diversification, and technological advancements. However, this strategic pivot also presents challenges, including domestic industry concerns and geopolitical tensions with traditional allies like the United States. As Colombia navigates this new partnership, its expertise will offer valuable insights into the evolving dynamics of global economic integration and regional development strategies. Now, I want to really talk to you about an extraordinarily important topic, and that is how the United States of America is currently making sure that its national security isn't compromised, or at least they are trying. As you know, there are many moving parts, from trade to the dollar, and my focus is on materials, the bedrock of our economy. Without them, the United States will find it hard to compete with China. That's why President Trump has signed several executive orders to protect copper production and mining on U.S. soil. Copper is often called the new oil. It is at the heart of America's future, and I could not be more bullish about it, especially when it is coupled with gold. Copper demand is surging, while supply struggles to keep pace. On a scale of 1 to 10, I am a full 10 on domestic U.S. copper production. Now, here is where basic and common sense supply and demand come into my bullish thesis. Global mine production is expected to peak in 2026 with a projected 700,000 tons deficit in 2025 alone. Underinvestments in a new mine has created a supply crunch. Like I said before, this is the time to get bullish and inquisitive on this sector in addition to other metals. The US-China trade war has disrupted global copper supply chains. China, which controls 50% of global smelting, faces export challenges. Trump's investigation into copper imports aimed at bolstering national security is the leading edge in a worldwide revolution in mining. I want us to truly grasp the scope of the opportunity with copper mining on U.S. soil. This is precisely what the administration thinks about copper. Let me share some quotes with you. For example, the U.S. Secretary of Commerce, Howard William Lutnick, said, and I quote, "American industries depend on copper, and it should be made in America. No exemptions, no exceptions." End of quote. Mr. Trump himself said, and I quote, "I have also imposed a 25% tariff on foreign aluminum, copper, lumber, and steel because if we don't have it, we don't have a military, and frankly, we won't have." we just won't have a country very long. End of quote. Trump has also said, and I quote, "Copper should be made in America. It's time for copper to come home." End of quote. The world is hungry for copper. This leads me to talk about the sponsor of today's video, Giant Mining, stock ticker BFGFF. Check it out. Not only does it own a copper, silver, gold project in Nevada, but it also recorded its best ever drill intercepts in September 2024, with additional great results in the past few weeks. This company is the only copper company I am bullish on right now. On February 14th of this year, Executive Order 14213 was issued and implicitly prioritized copper as a critical resource. Nevada, where Giant Mining copper project is situated, has constantly ranked among the top mining jurisdictions in the world, which is why I am bringing this company to your attention. Giant Mining's balance sheet is now fully funded for its drilling programs in 2025. Giant Mining is well positioned to accelerate its exploration efforts and potentially capitalize on emerging copper markets opportunities. This is great news in my view. The share price is down by about 50% since early February, due to, of course, market turmoil. So I am highlighting the company to you today for a reason. Giant Mining, once again, US stock ticker is BFGFF, owns the Majuba Hill copper project. This is a fast-producing mine. In the past 4 years, management and the company's geologists have actually expanded the copper deposits, and this past September, Giant Mining hit their best ever drill hole. Historic underground mines at the Majuba Hill project produced copper, tin, and silver from the early 1900s all the way to 1950s. And it includes the following: 2.8 million pounds of copper, 185,000 ounces of silver, 5,800 ounces of gold, and 21,000 pounds of tin. I will say this again. All of these factors and the following ones below are and the ones that led to my significant bullish opinion about Giant Mining. The infrastructure is ready due to the following: access roads, power supply, transportation, water supply, ore stockpile, and processing plant. Do your homework on Giant Mining, stock ticker BFGFF. As always, remember, geopolitics impacts your daily life in more ways than one. Till next time. Thank you.